We have Paolo, also now named Matmo by the Japan Meteorological Agency, here nearing landfall in the Philippines and another area of convection east of Guam that we're going to be watching in that extended forecast. And I'll talk more about that in a minute, but let's talk about the storm at hand. That is, of course, Tropical Storm Paolo. Now, this has been upgraded to a tropical storm as well by the Japan Meteorological Agency, so got that international name, Matmo. But key thing right now, it is continuing to tighten up. We're still seeing kind of this symmetrical shape taking place. Got good outflow aloft, inflow coming in across parts of Visayas, even over towards southern Luzon. And with this being a bit more symmetrical and kind of fighting off that shear towards the north, the track is slightly shifted towards the south. Now, how far? Well, not much, but it does make a big difference for places like Casiguran here and a lot of these coastal communities along the Sierra Madre Mountains, and even places like Hawaiian that was expected to pass directly over yesterday. It looks like it's going to be closer to like the Magat Dam and most of Aurora here before exiting just north of San Fernando on the west coast. But a big thing is a big rainmaker. Now, as it does come on shore, we're going to be seeing the severe tropical storm status, but I still continue to stand by a typhoon, and hear me out, and I'm not wish casting and never am. I always tried to give you the information here. We're seeing this tighten up. We're starting to see this intensification, and history tells us time and time again, these storms sometimes can get that quick burst. We just saw that with Opong just prior to landfall in Samar. It got that low-level rotation tightened up, and I know it was just a tropical storm when it came on shore. I think it was a typhoon, to be quite frank with you. But yeah, and see the Google DeepMind kind of showing that little southerly shift, which happens all the time too, that we have to take in that consistency and the biases in the models. And then it crosses over, passing just off La Union, and then moving off towards the west, where it could re-intensify it back up to maybe Cat 3, 4 type status before coming on shore there into southern Guangdong. See the shift south even with the ECMWF model. This is just showing kind of the mountains interacting with it, with the right front quadrant being at its worst across northeastern areas of Luzon, and that's where you're going to be seeing some of the heaviest of the rainfall. Still 1 to 200 millimeters possible all across this area into the Cagayan Valley, and even on the west coast as it reemerges, and you start to see that westerly flow come on shore for some of these places like San Fernando and up into the mountains across parts of Bagyo, Paolo, could be looking at those rain totals over 200 millimeters plus. So a big rainmaker stretching here across this area as it tracks off towards the west. There is good news in the sense that we are not expecting this to impact further towards the south, where you have seen continued aftershocks. People sleeping outside, I've seen in bags. I mean, because so many people are homeless in Cebu due to that massive earthquake the other day. So the last thing you need, and if this was a Visayas storm, we would be talking about a humanitarian crisis on par with, you know, Yolanda or a volcanic eruption out here, Mount Pinatubo. You know, it would be catastrophic. So I feel for you out here across Isabela, La Union, Region 1, 2, those areas. But thankfully, it is further towards the north than compared to that. But still going to be a big rainmaker. Still looking at some broader impacts. And still going to be looking at definitely that chance of some flooding. And I did mention that other area, by the way, back towards the east. You can see it here on the wave heights starting to develop there just north of the Mariana Islands. If we take a look actually at our SpaghettiOs, this is the GFS showing consistency and something developing and moving northeast. So since this is forming so far north, it kind of beats out that Westpac ridge. This could actually kick out towards maybe southwestern Japan, Okinawa potentially. Let's actually take a look what the ECMWF shows. This is by Monday. See that low near the Ogasawara Islands? And then we see the GFS even trying to develop something up and pull it towards the north and east. You see right there, kind of bringing it closer to Okinawa and the southern Japanese islands. Very disrupted by shear, though, so it's interesting to see, but a lot of people have been asking about this. It would be more of a northwesterly track, but at least at this time, I mean, just look at it. It doesn't have that look, and it's already getting picked up by a trough towards north. So let's focus on the storm at hand, and this, if this fills in, this moisture fills in, I still fear this will rapidly intensify. And I'm going to stand by that. It's just, it happens time and time again. And time again, we go, people act surprised. And I'm telling you guys. Anyways, all right. If you got any other questions, though, please let me know. That's what I'm here for. And hit me up a like and subscribe on this video if you want. Anyways, stay safe out there, okay, friends?